This is it, 578, No Laugh Track Podcast, first one of 2025. Justin Severson here. Get to host this podcast each week here at Acme Comedy Company in Minneapolis with my guest. He's waving to the giant crowd we have here. January 2nd, 2025, Tim Harmston is on the stage across from me right now.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year! How many times in your life have you stayed up at home by yourself and watched Dick Clark do a countdown? It's like 20 times like me when I was younger because I was a real loser and never went anywhere? Or were you always somewhere on New Year's Eve?
That's a great question. New Year's, I don't have any particular emotional attachment to it. Like some people like to whoop it up. Yeah, I think as young people, we're told that this is a very important night, and everybody celebrates. I remember my parents going out and getting dressed up and it being a thing.
So, okay, yeah.
But the minute
and you stayed home with Dick Clark.
Someone's gonna have to put a graphic about who Dick Clark is on this.
You know what's
anybody under my age is gonna be like, who is this Dick Clark guy?
They still name it after him.
Rockin' New Year's.
Yeah. But he's obviously long gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. When I started comedy New Year's, I was like, heck yeah. I mean, let's do it. I've always loved New Year's Eve shows. Like it's always been it's just always been to me a fun night. People are in an extra good mood, and there's extra good food, prime rib, or I think Lewis did sirloin steaks this year. It's people are excited for that, and I get excited when they get excited, and so to me it's always just a fun night, and so I was thrilled to be able to do New Year's this year at Acme.
How were the shows? They were great. I know I've been told they were 2 sold out shows on Tuesday evening here.
Yeah, they were fantastic shows, and they're very much my demographic, like people that are 50 plus, gray hair. I'm not going to hide from the truth here, okay? That was my audience.
Yeah.
And that is kind of my wheelhouse.
Sure.
And it worked out great.
They're the type that they probably came here and then went home.
Yeah, they went home, but
and that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying.
No, they went here and then they left the country after my comedy show.
They denounced comedy and then left the country.
Yeah, they were like, I'm out. So it was great. There was no barf anywhere, or this wasn't like a college bar. It was like a very respectful and engaged audience, and the Late Show, I had a bunch of guest spots come and kind of, because we were going to go all the way from like 9:30 to midnight.
Okay, yeah. So were you on stage for a countdown then?
Yeah, we did the countdown, and I was trying to time it where I wouldn't have to like kill a bunch of time, just kind of rap into the crowd.
Yeah.
About whatever, but I brought everybody up too early, so I'm like, oh well, I guess there's another 5 minutes to kill, and then so we were telling a few jokes.
Oh, I bet that was good.
Trying to get over the hump, and then we were worried that Grant Winkle's a funny MC. He had a iPhone, but it's we're in this concrete bunker here, and we were afraid that he would lose signal, and then we wouldn't know when exactly it was. So we would be like, there'd be
nothing worse than hearing them cheer outside at the bar, and you're like, what? What happened?
Yeah, and then do a really fast countdown, like 30, 20, 3, 2, 1. All right, leave, please. No, it was fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's good. So who is on the show with you this week then?
So we got Grant Winkles up top, and then the very funny Elise Cole in the feature position, and then we have for the guest spots we had Tommy Ryman and Jeff Foser and Sienna Violet.
Oh wow, nice.
Allie Horman. So it was
holy moly,
it was great. So yeah,
nice, well done, sir.
There was a funny moment in the green room that I was going to tell you about.
Okay.
Where, so Tommy was coming in. He was maybe going to be a little bit late, and I was a little bit nervous that maybe they wouldn't show up in time because everyone was coming in from other places. So Tommy came into the green room and we talked and we chatted and I told him you're going to do a guest spot, and then the comics were just kind of hanging out, and then I looked at Tommy and I said, Tommy, do you think Tommy will be here on time? And nobody and everybody kind of stopped. Like it was creepy. It was like I was staring at Tommy and I asked him if he will be here on time. And it was the first time in my life that my brain just, like, the chain that runs my brain just sort of came off, and it was like spinning by itself.
Oh no!
And everybody thought, does Tim have dementia, or is there something going on with Tim? And normally I catch that right away. I'm like, oh, that was just a slip, or I forgot. But I seriously was looking at Tommy, wondering if he was going to be here on time, and I didn't know. Maybe if this is the start of something, like, or I was just kind of overwhelmed by, New Year's and trying to do new material. But
2 shows in one night will do that to you.
We're friends. So if I ever do anything like that, will you just kind of send my wife a text and be like,
yeah,
Tim,
first person I'll tell is my wife.
To be like, Tim and I are at the Green Mill and drinking beer, and he's drinking an imaginary beer. So I need you to come pick him up. Just whatever.
He just paid the tab, and we haven't ordered yet.
Wow. Yeah. So I went home, and I was like, what the hell? Like we've all had little like mess ups, or like you can't find your phone. You're looking for your phone with your phone flashlight. Have you ever done that one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where's my phone? I've done that one. But this was just a complete meltdown of my cognitive abilities. I don't know.
I had a thing happen. It was here at the club last week. We were, my wife and I were here. We were having a meal before Mike's show and Mike Lester's show. I was overhearing a conversation from another table. I don't want to eavesdrop. I mean, that's terrible. I would never do such a thing. I heard this guy talking about his food coming or something about food arriving. I don't know. But then he said, and then he goes, but once it showed up, I wolfed it down. And I was like, wolfed it down? It's not wolfed it down. It's woofed it down.
No, it is wolfed it.
And then I took my phone out and Googled it, and it was like, the saying is wolfed it down because it's based on how fast wolves eat. And I'm like, my whole life,
oh my God,
no one's ever said, dude, it's not woof. I've said that 50, 100, many, every time I've used that phrase, I've said woofed it down.
Well,
we went home that night. I was so embarrassed I didn't say anything to my wife when it happened. Plus, I didn't want to be overheard from the guy that I was listening to. So then later that night, I said to my wife, I go, I don't know if did you hear that guy with the wolfed it down thing? And she's like,
this.
And she goes, no. She goes, no, it's woofed it down. I go, yeah, exactly. I married a woofed it down. I'm a woofed it down.
I feel like this.
But you knew it was woofed it down.
Well, I feel like your experience with that guy is like an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm that didn't quite make it.
Yeah.
Like it's a good script. It's probably not going to go into production. But.
We'll cut this part. Good point. We'll cut that. That's hilarious. Yeah, no kidding. And then another thing that you reminded me of about, you mentioned good food on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
I was somewhere and was offered ribs that night.
Sure.
And as I was trying to dig some meat out in between two of the bones, I freaking chipped my tooth.
Ah, jeez.
Can you see that from there? I chipped off a fake part of my tooth that I broke 30-some years ago the first time.
You were really woofing down those ribs.
I was really woofing down those ribs.
That sucks.
Yeah, when it happened, I heard a little crunch, and I went, no.
Yeah.
No.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah, and then pulled out a little piece of my tooth.
Oh,
son of
God.
a bee.
Yeah, it sucks getting old.
I don't know if it was worth it. The ribs were delicious.
Good.
I mean, I don't regret digging in.
It's funny when something medical like that happens on New Year's Eve. There's just no, like, well, I'll just go down to the urgent care. It's like you're holding on to that for 2 days because the next day your doctor's office is closed.
Nobody answers the phone when you call. Yeah.
I always think about stuff like that, about how if I get hurt or if I get sick, I got to do it when I can get to the doctor.
Conveniently hurt. Yes.
like our dog got. I'm talking about this on stage. It's a story that happened, but our dog attacked a porcupine like the day before Christmas or whatever.
Sure.
And so we were able to get him to a vet. He had about 1,000 quills in his face. And we were able to get him to the vet because it was like at 4:30 Christmas Eve, and they had like one spot left. But had it been Christmas Day, it would have been us, Mary Mac and I, like taking the needle and giving the dog shots of Jack Daniels, having him bite on a lead bullet, like just stay with me.
Oh my God. Have you ever even pulled one out?
No, but my wife says that it was common, and she grew up in the woods, and so she's like, yeah, my parents would just take a needle nose, and I'm like, he looked like I don't even know how to describe what the dog looked like, but
like a beard of
like
quills?
a beard of quills. That's my fourth and upcoming comedy album, A Beard of Quills. But it's like unbelievable the amount. And the thing is, I wrote the joke about the porky interaction because I'm like, this is going to cost us $1,500.
Yeah.
And it did. And then so I'm like, I better get a story out of this. But so I went back out. The story is about how I wanted to I was supposed to kill the porcupine. Like there was a lot of pressure and like from various people in the family, all the family members, oh, just go out and kill it. And I'm like, well, I don't kill stuff, but I went out in the woods and I found that my dog had killed it when he bit on it for like several times, and that's how he got all the quills on his face. So he saved me the agony of trying. It was like this weird circle where like he's like, hey, for $1,500, I'll make it so you don't have to kill the porcupine that I'm about to tangle with, And I'm like, well, that seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he did the dirty work.
It'd be like if I was offered ribs again, like you can have these ribs, but you are going to chip your other tooth.
Yeah.
Like, maybe. Is there a holiday the next day? We'll see. Oh my. So I was working the big Vikings-Packers game.
Sure.
This past weekend. I don't know if you know who won, but
yeah, it looked like the Vikings won.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just want to confirm you saw that.
Very...
I want to get your thoughts on this. Two different jerseys I saw people wearing.
Yeah.
At U.S. Bank Stadium last Sunday. One of them was a Brock Lesnar Vikings jersey.
Hard pass. I don't even. Is that an air conditioning company? I don't. No,
he only appeared in preseason games with the Vikings, yet people went out, including this guy I saw Sunday, and this is, 15 years ago or whatever, 10, 12 years ago, and bought a Brock Lesnar jersey.
Wow. Wow. That is awesome, though.
Right?
How much does that go for on eBay?
Well, can't be many. Where's the demand? I don't know. It's like the same, then I see the guys. I didn't see this past week, but I've seen this season. The dude that got in the game the other night for the, what the hell game were we watching? The Pastronaut. Fucking Josh Dobbs that had like one good game for the Vikings last year. People have went out and bought that jersey based on one game.
That's how desperate you are. That's how desperate the Viking fan base is for, confirmation or, what's the word? You're
somebody to believe in.
You're very desperate for, I don't know, like somebody to validate your validation.
There it is, validation.
Yeah.
All right. Then here's one I did see on Sunday. It's a Brett Favre jersey. Half of it is purple, and half of it is a Packers jersey.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think of that guy?
And when he was being arrested, did you make fun of him? I mean, that's an auto arrest, right? They have all the facial recognition. That's what he was trying to do. He was trying to like put that machine on tilt, like,
I know what I'll do. I'll wear this half jersey.
I don't.
preempted.
You know what? If people that hate sports, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, sports ball, you know, like
Sure.
I get it. We're all geeks. We're all dumb. We're in some way we're primal, and it's just. But sports brings out some of the best humor, like these costumes. Like I went to a Phillies game. I went to the Vikings Phillies game in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, this thing about the Eagles being drunk, the fans being drunk and rowdy.
Right.
Every bit of it was true. I mean, these people were savages, and they were like in the bathroom. Like I can't even. Like I went in the back. I was with 3 of my good friends on like a guy's trip, and I went in the bathroom and waited in a while, and I came out with like 4 stories, like 4 separate stories. It could have been like a mini series of each story, but I couldn't repeat them to my friend. My friend's like, you know, upstanding, you know, like good, you know, like wholesome people. And I'm like, I can't even tell you what I just heard and saw. And, but so away from Philly, I do think sports, the creativity that people have, and like the uniform or the fan gear, and the, you know, we were just talking before we went on the air about how I have a sewing machine now, and I want to like make my own logo wear, and all completely registered with the trademark office of the respective professional sports league.
Yeah, you were asking me if I knew about trademarks, right? Yeah.
I have my own. You've heard of Timu? It's Timu. I do a. Is it? Can it be wrong to like take a logo off an old jersey and sew it onto a cool thing that you saw? And
not anymore.
I mean,
There's nothing wrong with that anymore.
I don't think so.
No.
I just love the art direction of logos too. That's the one thing. Like, but prior to doing stand-up comedy, I was an art director, and so when I see great art, and the NHL has the best art direction of any professional sports league. Like some of the classic logos, like the North Star, the N with the star on it.
Absolutely.
The Hartford Whalers with the 2 whale tails. I mean, I get giddy.
Same.
Like I spend hours looking at logos and vintage, you know, photographs of, you know, St. Louis Blues. How freaking cool is the St. Louis Blues? It's like a note with a baby blue and a gold tones, and like it just gets me, and I'll never stop. Like I love hockey because of logos. And then you see people with they make their own stuff. You see people with like suits that they had custom made with the team logo, you know, sewn on it. Or, you know, it's like you go to a Wild game and you walk around and you're like, oh, that's awesome. You know, it's just like I get giddy on that stuff. You know, don't take that away from me, sports ball haters. I want to be. I love it.
Have you hit the on button on this sewing machine yet? Have you actually turned it on?
I haven't, and this is a public call for help. If anybody wants to teach me to sew, I will happily. I can trade another skill that I'm good at, which is I don't have a list in front of me. A skill that I might trade for sewing lessons.
I know that you know how to do something I don't know how to do, and that is play craps.
I will give a craps lesson. I will, if you teach me how to sew, I will buy you a case of your favorite beer. Is that a fair exchange? Or
depends how quick of a learner you are.
The 13th lesson, Tim can barely, with his stupid fat fingers, barely put the thread through the bobbin. Like, I don't.
Oh, you already know bobbin.
I know bobbin.
Well, you're halfway there then.
I will shovel your yard. I will shovel not your yard.
Wow. That's unnecessary.
This guy is so stupid. He came over and shoveled the whole yard. I will sew.
Spotless.
I just want to learn to sew. So please let me trade with you. Who am I looking at?
I don't know, but if you come back, if we do this a year from
teach me to sew. I just want to sew.
I want you to
I can sew these curtains. Sorry.
I want you to have an Etsy shop by
a
year
have
ago.
an Etsy.
By a year from now,
an
so badly. I want this to happen so badly.
Yes.
Where you're selling
Yes.
your own version of a knit wild hat, but it's
Yes.
one of a kind and
Yes.
crap like that.
I
Yes,
can
I'm in.
needlepoint a cool hockey thing and sell it, and I'm probably just incriminating myself right now with trademark law. But how can we get?
It'll be wild with 2 eyes.
Yeah,
you
and
know.
maybe
Like it's close, but it's not. It's not the same.
wild. Minnesota wild.
No, it's wild.
wild.
I am so in. I'm so in. Are you doing? Do you have? I think I saw. Are you doing your koozies after the game? Is that your merch these days?
I am.
What are you doing?
It is my merch. It is called. I didn't bring one. It's called the Smile on Sunday Foundation. It's an organization that provides grief counseling to Viking fans on Sundays, and all the proceeds go to that. And I know this is you're like this. All right, you've been doing that closer for 3 years now. Time to move on, but it just keeps giving, and. And the thing is, at Acme, nobody really wants one because they're so angry about that joke. But it's still fun to be. It's a conversation starter after the show.
Absolutely, absolutely. And even though we're just one more game to go, a very successful out of nowhere season for the Vikings. Any true Vikings fan, such as myself, knows that something bad.
Yeah,
is about to happen.
And there will be therapy and social services needed.
Exactly.
And
it might not be this week. It might be 2 weeks from now. It might be 3 weeks from now. But it's coming.
I had an audience member. They were sitting right behind where you are right now, front row. And I did that sales pitch joke. And she turned to her husband and she goes, well, that's not a great way to promote your sales stuff. I mean, that's just... I could hear just out loud, like while everyone was laughing. That's how loud she had to say it. She's like, that just doesn't seem like. She must have been like a marketing person. Like, what a weird way to sell merchandise by making fun of a room of like it was just so. And then I was and in my mind
it was Sam Darnold's mom.
Yeah. No, I'm like in my mind I'm like, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Like if I was up here. Trying to be like you guys, if I had the converse idea, which was like the supportive Minnesota Vikings gear, where it's like you guys are going to do great, everything's going to be fantastic, like how that'd be the dummy.
Yes.
I mean, this is my koozie that says congratulations on your success, Minnesota Vikings. Here we go again with the success.
Happy for you. These are my happy for you koozies. I'm just happy for you. No matter what. No matter the outcome, I'm happy for you.
It was a great year, no matter what. That's what it should say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. When we did this a year ago, you were recording your album that is now available, sir.
Yeah.
Frozen Badger.
Frozen Badger.
Has one of my favorite album covers I've ever seen. And I'm going to take this opportunity to say that you dropped the ball by not having a poster or T-shirt version of that. I still would love to buy one. I would still have the poster and put it up my wall. It's such a... People look it up. Go look at your one you already have in your collection because you bought it online or whatever. But if you don't have it, look it up. Get yourself a copy. It's so good.
Yeah.
And the material is obviously fantastic.
Well, thanks. I will try to print something out. Like I do. I'm going to go on a pretty good tour in April with 8 dates in the upper Midwest, and I want something to sell. I'm not a good sales, person. Like I've never been the guy with a Ziploc or a tote bag full of 500 T-shirts. And I tried that once, and I found that I always ended up with like 18 extra smalls at the end of it, and then I have to just perform in front of small audiences, and hard to come by. Like like I don't know. So
Tim's doing a middle school Tuesday afternoon.
You guys like merch?
You guys got your parents' credit cards? Let's go.
You're on Venmo.
Lunch money?
Yeah, no. So I wanted to do like a poster, but then I'm like, will people buy a poster? I don't know, but we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Merch is weird this day and age. Like, I think people buy it mostly because they want to support you. And
Yes,
so
absolutely.
I should just have maybe a coffee mug. That'd be kind of cool.
Or do what I did a month or so ago and get a koozie and sticker from Grant Winkles and get shamed the next week for not giving him enough money. Mike Hurley. I just wanted to support.
Yeah. Okay.
So bring money for that, too. He said he was performing this week as well. Don't get upset with me on this one, Tim.
Okay.
We're going to do something we did last time. I have a quiz for you. Now, I know last year we did the one. I listened back, and you were like, you basically were telling me how much you hated it because you thought it made you look like you're like, this just shows how I'm out of touch I am with pop culture.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think that's a bad thing. And this one is even geared more right in your wheelhouse.
Okay.
All right? I'm going to give you a name, and you're going to say whether or not they are someone that once played for the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, great.
Or not.
Great.
That's it. All right?
Okay.
Now, the Packers have a very long history, going all the way back to like the 30s and 40s. So I tried not to pull too many names, but this is really going to test your knowledge.
Got it.
All right. And
and what's at stake?
Whatever's in this bag, I brought I brought
a crumpled up plastic Target bag of stuff.
Yes. Yeah. What do you mean? I wrapped it.
I'm excited.
I wrapped your gift.
Now I'm super excited.
Okay, there we
Phones
go.
off. Phones off.
All right,
No
yeah,
cheating.
No cheating. No cheating. Okay, number 1, Chester Markle.
Yes.
You're confident in that one?
For the Packers?
Yeah.
Of course.
What position did he play?
Kicker.
Dude. All right, 70s, 80s. He was a
Yep.
kicker. You got that one right. Well done, sir. Red Cochran. Red Cochran. Play the music. He only has 3 seconds here.
I don't want to. You might have to edit some of this, Neil. I would say
Red Cochran.
I'm going to say no.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're wrong. He was a player, coach, and a scout.
Huh.
And a scout. All right, Jordan Jensen.
No.
That's right. Who's Jordan Jensen?
I don't know.
Jordan's a comedian that's performing at Acme in May.
Sorry, Jordan.
How about Casey Rocket?
No.
Who's Casey Rocket?
Is that Hawk Tua's real name?
Yes, it's not, but let's go with that. Casey Rocket's also a comedian.
Oh boy. Sorry, Casey.
It's all right. Zeke Bratkowski.
Yes. Or, no, wait.
Zeke Bratkowski.
Yes.
Position.
I don't remember the position.
Okay, backup quarterback in the 60s.
Yeah.
Well done, sir. Well done. Marcelo Hernandez.
I don't think so.
That's correct. Marcelo is a cast member on Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. Good job. Randy Knack with 2 A's.
Yes.
Knaack. Randy Knack, or maybe it's Knack.
Yep.
Yeah, he played for Green Bay?
Yes.
No, he didn't.
No?
No, that's the mayor of Menominee, Wisconsin.
Oh, right. I knew that. I'm like, I know a Randy Knack.
Is it Knack? Do you
I
know?
think so, yeah. I don't know him. I mean, I know that name. But I thought okay, keep moving.
Mac King. Mac King.
I don't think so.
Very good. That's a Las Vegas-based comedy
Hunter.
magician.
Oh, yeah, Matt King.
Matt King.
That's a great show, by the way. If you're ever in Vegas, Matt King. Classic, great Vegas magician.
Have you really seen him?
Yeah, I bought his koozie.
Stop.
No, he is great. Ask Derek. He'll tell you.
Yeah, I know Derek has mentioned him in the past.
Yeah.
All right, Clyde Goodnight. Clyde Goodnight. Good night. Clyde Goodnight.
Clyde Goodnight.
Yep.
It sounds like a Bond villain. I'm going to say no.
No, he did play for the Packers.
Okay.
He was a end in the 1940s.
Wow, you're pulling out. You're going
There-
deep.
I know. We got 3 left here. Ace Loomis. Ace Loomis. These are great names.
I'm going to say no.
No, he played DB in the 50s. Remember that? 2 more. Steve McMichael. Steve McMichael.
Yeah, he played for the Packers.
For how long?
A couple years.
1 season.
1 season, yeah.
1 season. Here's a little fun thing about Steve McMichael. Of course, brand new member of the Hall of Fame.
Really?
Steve McMichael.
Yeah. Super Bowl shuffle.
That's right. Which I found out recently in an interview that they did that. I was reminded that they released that before they were so cocky. They put out the Super Bowl shuffle before the Super Bowl game was played.
Yeah.
That's how freaking confident they were.
Yeah, that was a magical time.
Yeah.
Right? They probably printed out the Wheaties box before the Super Bowl was even over.
You know what? Good point. They probably did. So here's this, something that Steve McMichael once said about his career. Playing a long time for the Packers, and then he went to the played for the Bears for a long time, then went to the Packers, and that upset a lot of Bears fans. So he said, for 13 years, I played against the Packers, beat them every year, so I whooped their ass, right? He goes, then the last year of my career, I went up there to Green Bay, and I wasn't any good, and I stole their money.
Wow.
That's how he makes his Bear fans like him, by saying, hey, I stole their money.
Well, that seems to happen quite a bit these days.
Yeah, right. Final one. Ian Kerner. Name sound familiar?
Yeah, sure.
No. Ian Kerner did not play, but Ian Kerner is the author of the book She Comes First, The Thinking Man's Guide to Pleasuring a Woman. That was on the New York bestsellers list in 2024. So I thought maybe you'd heard of it. No?
You know what would happen if I brought that book home put it on our coffee table?
No.
Why would I know about that book?
You're a thinking man. Right?
That, by the way, was a not fair quiz. I mean, how am I supposed to know a defensive back from the 1950s?
You did well enough that you get your prize. Do you want it?
Yes. Is it a Yeti?
This is something that I've had that I didn't know what to do with, and this is a legit prize here. Wow. We getting this on camera here? Don't be careful. It's fragile if you drop it. It's fragile if you drop it, but I don't want that.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Come on.
It's a Packers mug. That is pretty nice.
A glass-etched Packers mug.
Yeah, that is really cool. Thank you.
There you go.
I will add that to my immense collection of Packer memorabilia.
So now do you feel a little better about not doing great on that?
Yeah, thanks for being understanding.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. I had a lot of fun putting that together. So
thank you.
Yeah. So thanks for participating. Let's see. What else should we be mentioning about you? You have a huge following on Twitter. You want people to follow you there. Do I have that right?
I'm actually on something called Blue Sky.
I know. You left Twitter.
Yeah,
You're on Blue Sky.
I left Twitter. I'm on Blue Sky. And I don't even know what my handle is, but I think you can just type in my name, right?
Yeah, if you just put in Tim Harmston, it'll pop up.
I am on Instagram. I guess that's where I do most of my advertising and clip posting.
Yeah.
So I will be taping these shows, and I have the ability now to take them and cut them into little bits they're called comedy clips.
Come on now.
And
What's
I will
this?
be putting them on Instagram for people to enjoy. And I didn't record an album this time. That was last year. I will probably be ready to record the new album in about 8 months.
Okay.
And then I'll hopefully have that for people to enjoy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And you're currently still not on TikTok, correct?
I am not on TikTok. What is it called? TikTok? Yeah. No, I'm not.
Dig Dug.
TikTok. I just can't do it. I can't do it.
If you go on TikTok and you look for Tim Harmston, you will find Tim Harmston. You'll find Tom Harmston. You'll find Tim Harmon and Tim Harmson, S-E-N, but not Tim Harmston.
Oh, thank God.
There's no Tim Harmston.
I don't even know. This comedian once told me, he goes, "Hey, I got a big video. One of my clips went viral on TikTok." It had over like 3 million hits or whatever. And I said, "That's really cool. So do you get money from that, or what happens, And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "It's monetized." And I go, "Cool. What do you have to do?" And he's like, "I just have to log into the TikTok account and then enter my tax ID and my social security number and all this." And I'm like, "It's into that Chinese website? Oh, that seems totally cool." I mean,
You don't have to give them that. They already have it.
I wanted to say, too, speaking of conspiracies, so have you seen the drones flying over the Twin Cities?
Twin Cities? No.
Yeah. So last night we were having a cocktail party with some friends, and we drove home, and we were coming over a neighborhood, and we saw these like blinking lights, and I thought, oh, it's just a plane that's landing at the airports. I've never seen a plane in that area because we know where the flight path is,
Sure.
But then we got closer, and we're like, oh, that's a drone, And then immediately you're like, well, what are they looking? Are they looking for me, or what are they doing? Like, what are they? You get all like weird, like, who is there a high speed chase, or what's happening? You just kind of get on edge a little bit. And then later I went out to walk the dog, and I didn't have any dog bags with me. You know how you play dumb? You kind of like roll up your sleeve like you have a dog bag, and you reach down. You kind of like fake pick up the dog crap. And then right as I was doing that, the drone was like, like right over. It came back, and I'm like, oh God.
Now you know.
There is a 10,000 times magnification government camera filming me not picking up dog poop in Northeast Minneapolis.
They have heat sensors, boy. That thing's just like fucking. It's still on the ground.
There's a live pile. He's walking away. Send in the response team, and then SEAL Team 6 comes in, and
That was
it.
that was perfect.
Yeah.
I hope that we find out that that's what's going on in New Jersey as well. And everybody's worried about who knows what. It's just piles of poop.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It was crazy, but that's what it was. So
Fantastic. Thank you for doing this once again, and we'll get this out there as soon as possible for people to listen, and hopefully come and buy tickets for the rest of the shows here this weekend.
Yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'll be here. So
Excellent.
yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Happy New Year.